Toni Morrison was one of the rare American authors whose books were both critical and commercial successes. Her novels appear regularly on the New York Times bestseller list, were featured multiple times on Oprah Winfrey's television book club, and were the subject of myriad critical studies. Beginning with The Bluest Eye, her novels portray the psychic and social lives of African American women as well as men, covering the trauma of slavery and its economic and psychological consequences during and after the 19th century. Miss Morrison's singular approach to narrative is evident in her first novel, The Bluest Eye, written in stolen moments between her day job as a book editor and her life as a single mother of two young sons. Published in 1970, it is narrated by Claudia McTeer, a black girl in Ohio, who, with her sister Frida, is a product of a strict but loving home. The novel's doomed heroine is their friend Piccola Breedlove, who at 11, growing up in an America inundated with images of Shirley Temple and Dick and Jane, believes she is ugly and prays for the one thing she is sure will save her: blue eyes. In a drunken, savagely misguided attempt to show Piccola she is desirable, her father rapes her, leaving her pregnant. Now an outcast, both in the community and within her own fractured family, Piccola descends into madness, believing herself possessed by blue eyes at last. The novel prefigures much of Miss Morrison's later work in its preoccupation with history, often painful, as seen through the lens of an individual life, with characters' quest, tragic or successful, for their place in the world, with the redemptive power of community, and with the role of women play in the survival of such communities. Miss Morrison explored these themes even more overtly in her second novel, Sula, about the return of a young woman, now a scandalous temptress, to her Midwestern hometown, and the ostracism she confronts there, and in her third, The Song of Solomon, the book that cemented her reputation. Sula provides a terse and vivid contrast between two black women, one a rebel and other a conformist, whose stories and struggles to come to terms with one another and their community set the pattern for some of her later fiction. In Sula, a woman blithely lets a train run over her leg for the insurance company it will give her money. In Song of Solomon, a baby girl is named Pilate by her father, who had thumbed through the Bible and, since he could not read a word, chose a group of letters that seemed to him strong and handsome. In Beloved, the spectre of a murdered child takes up residence in the house of the murderer. Song of Solomon is wider ranging historically and geographically, and unusually within Morrison's oeuvre, has a black male character, Milkman Dead, as its main protagonist. Here, the element of magic realism suggested in Sula are developed, and Morrison draws on the African American myth of slaves escaping by flying away as an image of Milkman's discovery of his roots in a Southern African American tradition. For this novel, Morrison won the National Book Critics Circle Award. Many readers and critics on both sides of the Atlantic regard her highest achievement to be Beloved, the first novel of a trilogy chronicling black American small town and urban communities over the past 150 years. It is based on a factual incident that she uncovered while preparing a historical collection, The Black Book, and explores the terrible impact of slavery, its brutality, and its dehumanization on a young mother who murders her child to prevent her being repossessed by the slave owner from whom she had escaped. The mother and those who live with her are haunted by the memory of the dead child, and the novel is also a more general representation of the terrible history that continues to haunt African Americans, a history that must be confronted in all its anguish before black people can learn to love themselves and one another. Jazz is a novel set in Harlem in the 1920s concerning a love triangle in which a husband murders his teenage mistress, which employs a narrative structure akin to jazz with the opening statement of a theme and a series of elaborations. Paradise returned to the small town setting in rural Ohio that had featured in Beloved. Like the two preceding novels, it evolves from a catastrophic act of violence, in this case, a murderous attack on a community of women. 5 years later, she published Love, a family saga that has some similarities to the Song of Solomon in that it weaves its story around the lasting impact of a wealthy black patriarch and entrepreneur, Bill Cozy, the owner of Cozy's Hotel and Resort, whose fortunes rest on the need for a holiday resort for black people in segregated America. His character becomes the focus of various generations of women's longing for father, husband, lover, guardian, and friend. Some critics have cautiously noted the teasing similarity between the central male protagonist's name and that of the millionaire African American entertainer Bill Cosby. Like the Song of Solomon, this novel records the historical and cultural changes affecting African Americans from 1930s till the 80s, before, during and after the civil rights movement. Many reviewers hail the publication of Love as demonstrating a return to the kind of writing that had made Morrison a Nobel laureate. Morrison's ninth novel, A Mercy, is set in 1682 in the early years of colonial Virginia, where English, Dutch, African, Portuguese, and Native Americans compete to survive and rule. Her next novel, Home, moves forward to the 20th century, portraying the life of a Korean War veteran in segregated 1950s America and his attempt to save his sister from medical experiments carried out by a white doctor. It is dedicated to her son Slade, who died in 2010, aged 45. God Help the Child returns to the theme of her first novel and traces the life of a young woman in the fashion industry, tormented by memories of her mother's dislike of her dark skin. 25 years later, Morrison published The Origin of Others, Essays on the Literature of Belonging, based on her Norton lectures given at Harvard in 2016. She examined the ways in which categories of otherness are invented and reinforced in literature, the media, and everyday speech to dehumanize others. And she analyzed fiction by writers Flannery O'Connor, Harriet Beecher Stowe, and others, including her own, to illustrate constructions of whiteness. Her play Dreaming Emmett was first performed in 1986. A film version of Beloved, directed by Jonathan Demme, scripted by three other writers, and starring Oprah Winfrey, was released in 1998 to mixed reviews. In 2011, she worked with the opera directors Peter Sellers and Malian singer Rokia Traore to create Desdemona, a mixture of words, song, and music, premiered in Vienna. The following year, Morrison was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Obama. Morrison's collected essays and speeches, written between 1976 and 2013, were published as Mouth of Full Blood. They explore the history of enslavement and its consequences, the power of language and the responsibilities of writers, the problem of being a consciously raised writer who is also confined by that category. A quotation from Morrison's Nobel speech provides an appropriate epitaph. We die, she said, that may be the meaning of life, but we do language, that may be the measure of our lives.